Happy Monday, everyone. Now, if you're seeing this little bit, I bet you're probably catching the replay or you are catching the lag on the live video because it usually takes a few minutes to populate out to the rest of Facebook land. So I am going to quickly share this out so more people can join. And then we will start the weekly reading. We're almost at the solar eclipse. That is a week from today. And I really feel like this year has been building up toward this event. And it's going to have some beautiful, beautiful energies to it. But we have to get through this week first. Okay. Here we go. We are shared out. Okay. So hello again. Hello again, everyone. Happy Monday. And in case you don't know me, I'm Lindsay Baldessano, Super Secret Powers Coaching, and I help empaths, intuitives, spiritually gifted women master their relationship with their gifts, their dreams, and their soul mission. Because once you hit that really sweet, sweet spot of being in center, getting soul wisdom, hi Emily, how are you? And being able to take inspired action toward your big vision, well, then your life is going to take off and it's going to shift. And you're going to feel like you have super secret powers. So today we are doing the live reading for this week. And I go from Monday to Sunday on my weekly readings. So I like to jump on here with you guys on Mondays. But today for me is a little off. Today we're having a lot of Saturn action. And even though I'm plugged in, I am seeing this weird lag. So I hope you all can see this. But I'm going to go ahead here. So Saturn it's still in retrograde. It's going to go out of retrograde soon. So we're really rehashing our relationship with time, our relationship with luck, and our relationship to making our opportunities happen. And yeah, that's hitting me today. And every day it's going to be a little bit different for this next week. And it's just the way this eclipse season is running. That 2 weeks in between two eclipses is usually pretty intense, but it doesn't necessarily have to be as up and down, left and right. One planet goes in, the other planet goes out. That's all due from this particular eclipse season having 6 planetary bodies in retrograde. And they're all transiting in and transiting out and making us rehash a lot of different things. And the cards do have some advice. In my head, I like to call today's reading, I like to call it the Stars and Cards reading, because I'm looking at what energies are going to be present, and I'm looking at what the spirits want us to know about those energies and about where we need to be so that we can be in our sweet, sweet spot, so that we can continue to move forward instead of feeling run over, right? Because who wants to feel run over? So starting this week off with that Saturn energy, it really brings up this whole issue of boundaries. So Ishtar, boundaries. Love yourself enough to say no to others' demands on your time and energy. It's a beautiful card there. Yeah, so that is today and that is this week. But some of that is going to shift up a little bit this week as we go through the next couple days. Because tomorrow we have some Venus energy coming in. So not so much Saturn will shift to Venus. And Venus is all about our love and our passion. So tomorrow might be more reminding us about what our passions are, why we have them, what's really lighting our fire. And then we're going to shift again midweek to a little bit of Mars action. The last time we had some direct Mars action during this eclipse was right before, the week before the partial lunar eclipse, the full moon. So like a week and a half ago. And it stirred up so many people. And I think it is still stirring people up, but that week, I don't think I have seen more fights on Facebook break out. And it's just that kind of thing. Mars is asking us, like, what are we willing to stand for? What is our soul going to burn for in that moment? Like, what is that thing that we're going to let consume us, for better or worse? Probably for better, of course. This is why Mars keeps asking these questions. Do we really want to stand for something that we don't honestly believe in, that we think is a stupid conversation, that doesn't really resonate on our soul level? Or are we going to stand for something bigger? Are we going to stand for something that we really honestly care about? And with these energies, and this is one of the themes also for this eclipse, is that we're seeing this going back and forth within ourselves between the loving female, I want to be the beacon of light kind of leadership for ourselves, and the active principle, let's get out there and let's meet our conflicts head on kind of Marsy influence. And that's also reflected in the way this solar eclipse is going to come up, in the way this Mercury retrograde is coming up. That balance between our masculine sides and our feminine sides. Hey, Kelly, how are you? And through all that, because even in the cards, we're seeing something a little bit more of the masculine, even though it's a feminine, a goddess card. She's asking us to stand for our boundaries. We're also being asked to nurture what we love. So it's really coming down to focus on what it is that you're building. Focus on the seeds that you want to grow. Focus on the things that you feel like you need to protect in this world, that you're meant to be here for, to support. And don't worry about the rest. Just this week, you're not going to be able to afford it. So it's not even something that should stress you out. If you need to say, no, I need to reschedule this next week, just make sure you're doing it from a place of love and not saying, F off. It might get to that point. And with the way things are going, because everybody's going to be going through this on some level, it's not just us. People might seem more pushy because they're also going through this. And we are also reassessing where our boundaries are. We need to have a little bit of that compassion. And we need to have a little bit of practicality. King of Pentacles. A little bit of generosity toward ourselves and others. Make this more of a learning time than a battle time. Especially these next 2 days, because as we're hitting Thursday, we are just 4 days away, 4 or 5 days away, no, 4 days away from the big event, from the big solar eclipse. And the energies are going to continue to build throughout the weekend. They might feel a little off and on. These are high vibe energies. They're not here to always make us feel always warm and fuzzy and comfortable. They're here to challenge us to grow into who we are going to be. So we have to work out our boundary stuff. We have to work out how to hold our loving center as best we could, as authentically for who we are. If you're not a fluffy rainbow person, that doesn't mean you have to turn into a fluffy rainbow person to have a loving center. It just means you have to love with authenticity. And through that, we do gain who we are meant to be. We do gain more of our essence, our authenticity, by going through that. And that card was the spirit of the place. So in that sense, you become a leader. You become somebody that others can rely on, if that's who you're meant to be. or you become the pioneer, someone who is inspiring others at the very least. Whoever it is that you are can grow if you're not coming from those knee-jerk reaction places of, oh, I can't believe he said that. I can't believe he did that. If we can take that step back into our power, we can say, this is all shit that's just being stirred up. This is all planet stuff. I see it. I get it. Let's try this instead, because this seems more fun right now. This seems where the flow is. That's where you need to be. It doesn't have to be all about pushing just because we have some Mars action. We get to take that step back and say, is this really the fight I want to have? Is this really the change I want to create in this relationship? And if it isn't, try something new. Try something different. Because your mind only knows what happened in the past. Your mind can't really predict what's going to happen if you change things up. And that's how we start new patterns, new habits, and a new way of life. Through that inspired action of, let's try this differently this time. So with that, my loves, what are you going to try different? What's coming through that you would love to see work, but you're not so sure if it will, because maybe you haven't tried it yet? All right. And I am offering a Thriving in High Vibe Times workshop. It's a video and a workbook. And my content in that goes through the first week and a half of September. So there's still a lot of content that can be very helpful to you as we're at this halfway point for the eclipse season. So there's still a lot you can get out of it. It's only $15. I'll drop the link for that. And if you are finding yourself in need of a lot more direction and a lot more support and guidance, you can upgrade that workshop with a free I Need a Sign reading. All right. And I will see you all Wednesday with the tip. All right. Have a great week and just say what you want to say, like the song says, and let the words fall out. But just make sure it's coming from that loving place and a place of intention. This is the change I want to create. All right. Love you.